Now, one of the world's most battle-tested anti-tank weapons could be heading to India. US Ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, says that India intends to purchase the American Javelin anti-tank guided missile system. And the announcement has come from Washington before it came from New Delhi. Developed by Lockheed Martin and Raytheon RTX, it is a man-portable fire-and-forget anti-tank missile. Once a soldier locks on and fires, the missile guides itself towards its target, allowing the operator to immediately seek cover or reposition. Its signature feature is top attack. The missile climbs before diving down onto an armored vehicle. That's the trajectory it takes, targeting an area where a tank's protection is typically weaker. And the weapon has been extensively combat tested, most prominently against Russian armor in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Now, the sale of Javelin anti-tank missile systems and Excalibur guided artillery munitions worth $93 million to India was approved by the US State Department in November 2025. That's a report which came out of the US, and it was confirmed by the US Defense Security Cooperation Agency. For India, however, the Javelin would join an already diverse anti-tank arsenal that already exists in India. And that includes the Milan-2T, the Konkurs M, and the Israeli Spike missiles and tank-launched envoy missiles. India is simultaneously developing its indigenous anti-armor capabilities, and that includes the DRDO's NAG family and the man-portable anti-tank guided missile, the MPA-TGM. All right, to discuss this further, I'm now being joined by Major General Sudhakar Ji, Senior Geopolitical Strategic International Affairs and Defense Expert. General Sudhakar, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for making time for us here. How significant do you feel the Javelin acquisition could be for the Indian Army's anti-tank capabilities from a battlefield perspective? How valuable do you think its top attack and fire-and-forget capability against modern tanks will be?
Yeah, good evening, Shivan. Thank you for inviting me for your show. Having served along the northern border and having seen the capability of China, as also Pakistan, I personally feel at the moment Indian infantry does not have a top attack kind of an anti-tank missile. And Javelin, having seen its battle worthiness and its capability in Ukraine-Russia war, I personally feel it is a significant induction into the infantry and it is a game changer. Although the battlefield nuances and the character and the nature is undergoing significant change, yet one cannot actually discount the relevance of the tanks and the armored vehicles in future battles. Hence the importance of this particular missile.
Understood. General Sudhakar, India already operates systems like Spike, Milan-2T, Konkurs, NAG, Invar, along with Indigenous, of course, the NAG missile carrier and the MPA-TGM. What specific capability gap could the US Javelin fill, and where does it really fit into India's already exhaustive anti-tank doctrine?
Yeah, when you talk about the anti-tank doctrine, for a layman, for better understanding and easy understanding, we have an array of platforms. It starts with the tank, the heavy tank-to-tank battle. Like you have T-90, you have your Arjun, and they fire at the respective ranges from 2,000 plus meters. Also, there are mounted platforms on the tanks. Thereafter, you have different kinds of platforms. You have mobile carriers. Then you have the infantry portable layers. And in infantry portable layers, I'll come to that later, but the mobile carrier layers, you have things like NAG missile. And you were mentioning about Spike. Spike is a missile which you have bought from Israel. The range is roughly around 4,000 meters or 4 kilometers plus. But you have to see it from the perspective that almost all, who are our enemies? Our enemies are China and Pakistan. So what do they have? That should be the logical question coming to the mind. China has got a Type 15 light tank and Pakistan uses the VT-4. Now both these tanks, they have got the explosive reactive armor onto the side and the front. So when you have explosive reactive armor onto the front and side, it's no point banging your head against a wall. You have to look for something which is softer. You can't go under the belly. you have to hit it from the soft, that is from the top. And Javelin has got that peculiarity. It gives a height, picks up a height, goes, takes a kind of a trajectory, a parabola kind of a thing, hits on the cupola itself, which is the softest in the tank architecture. So that gives them adequate penetration. It kills, it goes for a K kill. That means it's the absolute destruction of the armor. So that is the kind of a distinction from the existing arsenal that we have.
Yeah.
And I would say that it is definitely going to give a kind of a quantitative and qualitative edge to our anti-tank layers so as to reinforce the existing doctrine. It will make it more formidable
Yeah.
and deter the enemy. Particularly, my experience in the high altitude along line of actual control is that this light tank of China, I've seen it in my own eyes, it moves very fast in very, very hostile terrain, number one. Number two, it engages target, and thereafter it's like something very close to shooting and scooting. It doesn't behave
Yeah.
that way. Because by virtue of the fact of the mobility and maneuverability, it changes its position very fast.
Yeah.
So therefore, it will be appropriate to engage these kind of threats and targets with a weapon system as that of Javelin.
Understood. Understood. Major General Sudhakar ji, pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for making time for us here on Defense Plus.
Thank you.